Hello, my name is Allie, and welcome to Funny Fat Friend, a podcast about this bodacious biracial babe trying to find herself in film. Here's an update. We have been protesting here in Louisville for 307 days for justice. You can find the links to the wish list of supplies we are in need of here for protesters, and if you can, give to the Louisville Bail Fund, please. Charges are being pursued, and we need every piece of support we can get. Okay, today, on this momentous occasion that we have all been on bated breath waiting for, I am joined with a very, very deeply special friend of the pod, special guest, to bring this spider train to a close.
Oh my god.
It is my best pal, Sean.
Hello. It's good to be here.
Oh, it's so wonderful to have you, Sean.
Oh, I'm excited. This is easily one of my favorite superhero movies ever.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And rewatching it, I was reminded of why I love it so much. I mean, the visual language of this is the visual language of Marvel movies. I mean, this is...
You're not wrong. Yeah, this is the most, like, what I think of as...
Yeah, exactly. Like, we got away from it when we got, like, so this came out in the early... Well, this series came out in the 2000s, right? And then we got the Dark Knight, so everybody was like, oh, we got to go super gritty, you know? And then we get Iron Man, which is, in my opinion, very much visually in this world. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a dream. Spider-Man 3 really set it all off for everybody.
It did.
Modern cinema.
I'm pretty sure, I had a birthday party where we went and saw this movie at the movie theater.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
I think the only birthday party that I went to the movies for was Hot Rod. And it was just like a couple of my friends. It wasn't even a whole party. It was just we went.
I did too. I did this and I did Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Sequels only, baby.
Sure, yeah. Hitting them good. Yeah. Ooh. So yes, this is Spider-Man 3. It is from 2007 it came out. It had a budget of, we don't really know. So we...
what?
We know, yeah. It was estimated either $250 up to $350 million budget. We don't
That's
exactly know.
$100 million.
It's not something that you just don't know where that, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
You can just write that one off.
Yeah.
Just like, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. Probably giving it to Willem Dafoe. That's probably where it went.
I hope so. He deserves it.
Yeah, there was new stuff for him to do in this movie.
It made $895 million.
Okay, so worth it. Fine.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
It was the most expensive film ever made at the time.
Really?
It was the most expensive film ever.
Yeah, Avatar wouldn't come out for another 3 years. I guess that movie wasn't that expensive to make either. Or maybe it probably was.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, whatever.
It didn't have to be. There was no reason for it to be.
Yeah, it was just computer man hours.
Yeah, but okay. But yeah, it is the highest grossing of all 3 Spider-Man films.
Yeah, I mean, people say this is the one that killed it, but...
Everybody paid money to go
see it. Yeah, exactly. They could have kept going, yeah.
Yeah, and it's wild because it's like the third one, so... Were people going in fresh for this one?
Yeah, I don't... Well, here's the thing is that they were not at all committed to any kind of big universe. Like, the whole Avengers... The element of comic books that they turned into movies now, where it's like all these different things happening in the same universe. Like, you know, this is almost like an episode of a really long episode of the Spider-Man TV show. You know, like, it feels episodic in a weird way, and also like, I don't know. I feel like they give you enough story to be like, Spider-Man already exists. These are the people that are already here.
Yeah.
Here's the story. It's not connected. Nothing sets up this story in the area other than Harry. Yeah, other than Harry, which they get rid of really quick. Like right away, they're like, "Oh, we need this conflict, let's just get rid of it."
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of it.
So okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. Yeah. All right, so we get this opening, and we get a new weird 3D spider web title sequence. So.
Yeah, tracking shot.
Yeah, and it has highlights. So I guess, you didn't need to see the first two. They show you highlights from the first two in the opening title sequence with these 3D renderings of spiderwebs. It's very jarring. It made me really uncomfortable. And then suddenly there's black goop that keeps gooping around.
Yeah, the chaotic black goop.
It was so gross. Gwyneth Paltrow is shaking.
Yeah.
It was so gross.
Oh my god.
And this title sequence clocks in at 3 minutes 20 seconds long.
Holy hell. This movie came out in the 21st century.
Yes! Yeah. All of them have had really long opening title sequences.
Oh, but I do love the first one. It's so fun. I remember being in the movie theater as like a fucking 7-year-old or 6-year-old or however old I was. I was like 6.
Oh,
and
God.
I was like, wow, this is cinema. Isn't okay. I know this is okay. I know that this is not this one. I think this is the second one. It starts with this, where it opens on a shot of Mary Jane, and it's like, this is a story about a girl.
Oh no, that's the first one.
Is that the first one?
That's the
it's
first
not.
one.
It's not at all about a girl. It's not about a girl.
Yeah, that shit is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually the web pieces together the New York City skyline, and it bleeds into real life or whatever. It transitions.
Good stuff, Sam Raimi.
Yep, art was being made. We see Spidey swinging around, and we get voiceover. Yep. They have been consistent. All three start with Peter Parker voiceover.
Yeah, they're comic books. I mean, he's committed to this being a comic book. Yeah. Like, it's camp.
We talked about that a lot in the first one.
Yeah, it's a comic book. Yeah.
And he says, "It's me, Peter Parker."
Oh, good.
Your friendly neighborhood,
Oh man, this movie had one draft. They drafted this one time, no rewrites.
He says, "I've come a long way from being a boy who was bit by a spider."
He was never a boy.
He was not. He was a 30-year-old man.
Yeah, he's been... honestly, I genuinely... Okay, so obviously everybody loves Tom Holland as, like, the teen Spider-Man wonder. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, this is what Spider-Man was always meant to be, which is a teenager in high school dealing with these kind of problems. I do genuinely think, if you think about Tobey Maguire as, like, Spider-Man having been Spider-Man for 15 years and now he's a 30-year-old man. Yes. It does seem like it could be Tom Holland. Like, it seems
it does.
It does work.
They do,
So if this I always remember thinking about that as even I know really early, but I remember thinking about that as I was watching this. I was like, oh, this is adult Spider-Man. Like he's a man. Right?
Yeah. Dumb
Spider-Man.
And we see him standing in Times Square watching a video of himself as Spider-Man playing on like one of the Jumbotron things. And there's a good news article displayed around him, and then he's in science class and he's getting bullied. In college. Yeah. He's getting bullied. They're spitting spitballs at him. And one guy uses a fucking, like, a mirror to blind him, like, with light, while he's, like, trying to speak.
Who are these people? Who are these people? Most of the people that were like that in high school were either matured significantly, honestly, or didn't go to college.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody that age that's still continuing in that behavior, like, why are you there?
Yeah,
I do remember there being people in college, though, that I was like, why are you? This isn't. What are you doing? You just act like you're here because you feel like you have to be. You don't have to be here. I'm trying to learn something, That is fucking weird, isn't it? Spitballs and
and the good old blindy mirror trick.
Yeah, there we go. This will show him.
What is this? A Western?
This will trip him up, and he'll be a bad grade.
Yeah,
like
it's
what?
So weird.
What's your goals?
It's like, ooh, you're smart. It's like you guys are in like a high grade physics class.
Yeah,
thing.
Exactly.
What?
And they're in like a prestigious university.
Yeah.
Right? Like probably at like Columbia or whatever, or some kind of school.
Goofing on Parker.
Oh,
You're gonna give him a swirly.
This kid's a dweeb.
Yeah. What the fuck? It was really weird. Then we meet Gwen Stacy, who is in his class, and she's smart and pretty and obviously not a natural blonde. This is a hard front wig.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's a helmet.
Yeah.
It's bad. And it's what is her name?
What a weird character in this movie.
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy. Oh man, we'll get to it, but when he rescues her,
oh yeah,
what a great!
Some
great action sequences we're gonna get to here.
Next, we see Peter. He's looking through the window of a jewelry store to ring as an old man puts a layaway available sign next to it and looks at him.
He's like,
hey. Yeah. Then we see him go to Broadway to a musical called Manhattan Memories.
Yes, I would see it.
Sure.
I would see it. Oh my god, I hate all the women in this movie. They're all so... me too. I feel so bad for Kirsten Dunst because she's giving like a fully honest reading of all the lines that she's given here in the next couple minutes. And like, they're... Oh man, she was done so dirty, you know? God. And have you seen Marie Antoinette?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's
phenomenal actor.
Talented.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and like, she literally, in this one, when you first meet her right after the show, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, was I good? Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. Oh, people weren't clapping loud enough for me. And Peter is... And also supposed to be sympathetic with that?
Yeah.
Bitch, you're on Broadway. You are there.
So wild. Also, had just, even in like the last one or something, her picture was everywhere. She was on a billboard. She's like making it.
Yeah, exactly. So she's big enough to have been in something to where she was featured as like a draw to come see the show. And put her face on stuff. To the point where she's leading another show. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, they hate me. She's a diva. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Two large men sit next to Peter, and that's comedy because fat people are hilarious.
Yeah.
Mary Jane comes on stage, walks down some stairs in a very ethereal looking gown, and sings a song.
Yep.
Classic musical.
I wonder what the story of that show is. It's probably like a review of some kind. Yeah. Of course people are bored. Like, what?
Yes. Peter looks so fucking happy. Tobey Maguire has the best, goofiest little face.
He's goofy, and the whole point where he does all this science about. He's like, hey, you don't need to think about that because actually the way that sounds carries is because of the similarly. It's like, you're such a nerd. You're such a nerd. It's fun.
Oh man,
I'm just gonna call him Punk.
Then we see, as a nice juxtaposition to Peter's giddiness, we see Harry.
Yes.
In his box seat.
Yes.
With opera glasses.
Yeah, Broadway theaters are not that big. Broadway theaters are not that big, and he's sitting really close to it. If he put on real opera glasses right there, it would just be her face taking up the whole thing.
Oh God. Man. But Peter sees Harry as he leaves, and he's like, let me talk to you. And he says, tell it to my father.
Yeah. Oh man, Oh man, he found out in the last one, because Doc Ock got him to get the unobtainium or whatever the hell that was.
Bring him Spider-Man, and so now he knows that Peter is Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, tell it to my father, raise him from the dead.
Oh my God.
And then he gets in his limo and leaves.
Yes.
Which I don't understand how he's still rich after everything went so bad with Doc Ock in the last one.
Well, okay, well, actually, let's be realistic. What rich person do you know that had their company go down in shambles and then became poor?
I don't know.
Maybe Bernie Madoff, but like most of the time they do. They have savings, and he's got his assets divided, and he's rich, and
he has insurance on
everything. Exactly. He doesn't have any income, but I mean, he's just spending all of the money that his father had to make more gadgets.
Yeah, I guess
exactly.
So.
Man, the tone of this movie is all over the place.
Oh my God. Yeah. Peter goes backstage to MJ. We talked about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And tells her she's great.
The flowers.
Yeah, and says some dirty shit about sound waves.
Yeah, exactly. And she goes, thank you for the flowers. And then it like zooms over and it's that giant bouquet. And it's like, oh, Harry brought those.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Did you see him? I talked to him in the lobby.
Then we're at Harry's dad's old lab.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out of the green smoke machine. So I guess he's just evil now.
Yeah, he did the same.
Yeah.
In the first movie.
Yeah.
But it was the same effect. Turned into a goblin, we'll say. Well, then you know what's so annoying is that there is real lore in Spider-Man, which is that there's the Green Goblin, there's another bad guy who's the Hobgoblin, who's like uses the Green Goblins and makes them. But in this movie, he's just the new Goblin. He's not. He's listed as the new Goblin and not as the Hobgoblin. Should have been the Hobgoblin.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we're
not about that.
We're not about
we
that.
Don't do that here.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Peter and MJ are laying on a web.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I remember thinking like, oh, this is a comic book when I was looking at that. I do love it.
Was she just standing on the pier waiting while he was
he can make one of those things like that. He goes, and then it's there. I mean, if you see...
That's not how spiders work.
We're cutting ahead a little bit, but, you know, when Sandman taking over the truck, he throws the guys out the back of the truck and goes... Yeah, so it can take like 2 seconds to make one of those things.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, no. I do... Now, while we're on the topic of webs, now that you've seen all of these and you've seen the other Spider-Man, like you've seen Andrew Garfield, you've seen Tom Holland.
Yes.
How do you feel about Peter Parker's organic webbing in this one? Like it comes out of his actual wrist. Like he makes the webbing. Right. Everything else he gets technology that makes it. What do you prefer?
I think I prefer the organic.
Me too. Yeah. I was like, why not? He can climb walls.
Yeah.
Why is that a stretch?
Yeah.
Like that's just a...
Yeah. I would be disturbed if it came out of his ass. Yeah. That is fair. That would be a fair concern. Yeah. Like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And it is gross to think about, I guess, that it's coming out of his wrist, but also it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not watching. It's not zoomed in.
But that was a huge controversy when the first one came out. Like, people were pissed about it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, just you guys wait until we get these other movies. Yeah. Really get into it. But,
the Doc Ock, the spine column
that was pretty cool.
It was horrifying.
There's something about these movies, actually, even though they're super campy, they do get into some weird realism, like, and like the effort it takes to do these things, and like we'll get to it eventually in the fight scenes. But go on.
So they're laying on a web, which I don't think would be comfortable. Also, because it's got to be like sticky.
That's like a hammock.
I don't think but webs are sticky. Because
only on the tips. Only on the tips,
stuck
right?
To them.
Yeah, I guess only when it's convenient.
That's the point of a web. Yeah, is that things get stuck to it.
Yeah, they would be so stuck they couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess, you're right.
Yep. But they kiss and they're in love and they're making out.
Yeah,
it's great.
Good for them, yeah.
But suddenly a small meteorite crashes nearby.
You don't even see it. There's no... Yeah, what? This movie hinges on coincidence.
Yeah.
There's so much coincidence involved. Especially with this symbiote Venom alien creature character, which, to be fair, I guess the idea is that it embodies chaos.
Yeah.
But too much chaos. It's just like,
it's like a Gen Zer on TikTok trying to be cool.
Yeah.
There's this goop monster.
Just, you gotta be the right place, right time.
Too much chaotic energy. Doing too much.
Oh my gosh.
Chill out.
Oh man.
The goop monster.
Oh, it drops silently.
Yeah.
Like something that fast, and then you see the crater it made, which albeit small, it wouldn't make a thump. It would make they would notice that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they were making out, so.
Right.
Yeah, on their web.
Yeah.
Romance.
I know how I am when I make out on my webs.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything.
Nope. And the symbiote.
I say symbiote, but I could be totally fucking it up, and I've never heard it out loud.
Yeah, I also haven't heard it out loud, so. It crawls out of the meteorite and attaches itself to Peter's moped, which he's still in.
Yep. And here's the thing is that if it really is a chaotic thing, it's like, I'm just grabbing, getting it as close to life as I can. And then it grabs his license plate and then it's like, okay, now I'll hide here until when it's convenient. Why doesn't it just immediately climb up and get on Mary Jane?
Yeah.
And she becomes like Venom Lady.
Poison Ivy.
No, that's
and
Batman.
Now it's Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like it.
Okay, but hey, I digress. You know, that's a. I'll stick with it. You know, it's a smart but random alien creature.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we see a orange jumpsuit-clad man running through an alley with a very slow police car pursuing.
Oh no! Oh man, this arc. Oh my god.
It looks like they're looking for him, but they are not trying at all. He then climbs up a fire escape into a kid's bedroom who has a little oxygen mask. So we're like,
oh, she's sick.
Yeah, I guess.
A little oxygen mask is like the movie equivalent of in theater when somebody coughs in a handkerchief and there's blood on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. Tuberculosis. Yeah. The man pulls out a stack of letters. We see the name is Flint Marco on the letters. And the kid is Penny. And he slides the letters under the child's pillow. Mm. He then goes and puts on some clothes. Just the worst outfit. Yeah.
He goes from an orange jumpsuit, new prison, to a striped shirt, old prison. Yeah. Also clinging to his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, like very tight.
He looked like a toddler.
Well, they were trying to... it was also like the casting there. Thomas Hayden Church, who I know of, George of the Jungle. I'm sure he's been in other things.
Oh, that's very
He's fun. Lyle. You know, and I remember this movie was about to come out, and my dad was like, hey, you know who's the bad guy in this? It's Lyle from George of the Jungle. Oh. And I was like, huh. We'll see. And he got jacked. But you never see him shirtless, but...
No, he's just really big.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Yeah, small shirt. Tucked in.
Yeah, tucked in. It's the comic design.
Well, yeah. He does look like a comic book character.
Exactly. Yeah.
He looks exactly like he is drawn. So that's fun. And he goes and gets some bread. Show him rip a loaf of bread. That's what a terrible way to okay. And a woman comes in and tells him he can't hide there because he's an escaped convict. So it's like, thank you for explaining. And then the daughter comes out and gives him a little necklace.
Oh.
And he promises to make her healthy again.
Yikes. Damn. Yeah.
And he says,
now we got motivation for the character. Good.
He says, I'm not a bad person. Just had bad luck. And then he leaves.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know about any of that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Peter's on his moped. He goes to see Aunt May to tell her he's going to ask Mary Jane to marry him. We found out Aunt May initially said no to Uncle Ben's proposal. Very sweet.
She is the backbone of these movies.
Yes.
She is integral to the success. Her and fucking why is his name escaping me? J. Jonah Jameson. J.K. Simmons. Yeah, J.K. Simmons and Aunt May are
it.
Holding this movies together.
Yep. Totally different sides of the spectrum holding it together.
Does she... It's implied she knows he's Spider-Man at this point, right? Because in the last one...
when because
she's like, hey... Yeah. Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember exactly what she says, but that's a very good scene with the kid and her. Oh, yeah. What an actor. Yeah. God, she's great. She's so good.
I think she knows. We don't ever really find out for sure.
It's kind of like a mother knows.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we find out that Uncle Ben took her to the beach and he was a knockout in his bathing suit. And they swam to an island. They looked out at the view. Far? She closed her eyes, and when she opened them, he had the ring. Where did he hide it while he was swimming to an island?
Butt crack.
Okay, anyway.
Or just a zipper pocket, you know. Yeah. Those aren't new.
She cries, and I just wrote, this woman is too wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And she gives Peter her ring for his proposal.
Oh,
And tells
yeah.
him that he has to put his wife ahead of himself and be responsible and actually listen.
Yeah.
To be a good husband.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Wow. While biking back home on his moped, Green Goblin 2.0.
Yes, this is a killer fight sequence.
Yeah, he picks him up and just
so
fucking wails on his head.
It is okay. So the CGI isn't great.
No.
Like they look very much like clay. However, the fight choreography is immaculate.
Yes.
The like them swinging around and fighting as they're falling through the sky, and he like throws him into a wall, and he like sits in the wall, and he's like, "You knew this was coming, Pete."
Yeah, exactly. It's like that, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god. And there's several really incredible moments in that fight sequence. Like clearly all Harry's been doing has been training for this very moment. Yes. And this is the one point in the movie where I'm like, this movie doesn't know where its tone is, because there is, like, in its case, kind of comic booky in that he throws one of those classic Green Goblin orange pumpkin grenades at him. He's like, God, I hate those things. Yeah, it's very comic book. And then he throws him through the corner with the two glass like things, and the ring comes out, and he's trying to grab it, and he has to like shoot and grab it, and he gets hit. It's good. It's fun. Yeah. It is very fun.
It is very cool. Yeah.
And then it ends in the dumbest fucking way possible. It's comedic the way he hits his head in that moment. Yeah. Yeah. He like because he does a really cool thing where after he throws that thing, he like slingshots back the other way and throws it, and he like goes through the explosion. Yeah. Can't see when he comes up. He has like a
literally clotheslines him,
and it goes boing, and he hits his head against a thing, and immediately Peter's like, "Oh no, what have I done?" When it's like,
this is the goal, my guy. What was your other option? What? Why are you so confused?
Oh my god!
But he does look dead as hell.
Yeah,
scary.
Yeah. Oh my god!
He looks dead as fuck. Peter starts doing CPR on him and takes him to the emergency room. Mm-hmm. The captain of the police,
Gwen Stacy's father.
We suddenly meet the captain of the police, whose last name is Stacy, so we can he's told about Flint Marco's escape, and we find out that he was found guilty for the Parker murder. Oh. Damn. So we see him running through the woods.
Why didn't we see? I feel like catching him and going on trial and stuff. Peter would know who that man is.
Right, yeah, that would have...
He would give a victim statement.
Yes. It didn't make sense that he didn't know.
Yeah, that is really weird. Like, there was no explanation as to why we didn't.
No.
Yeah. And Peter, finds out, it's a new thing when he does. Yeah. That's later, though. But yeah.
So Flint is running through the woods, just being pursued by 100 helicopters and shit, I guess.
I love this part.
And he...
Yeah, how did they... Yeah, we skipped the part where they found him. And they're just like, get every helicopter in New York.
We're chasing a man in a green striped shirt and some khakis. Let's go!
Oh, man.
What? Yeah. He gets to a fence, and a dog jumps on him, and he just full punches it in the face.
Good job.
Fucked.
And lays it out.
He climbs the fence and falls into some industrial strength sand mixer thing.
It's a science experiment where they're turning things into sand? What are they doing? What is the experiment? They're like, and also, this is the insanity of, it's clearly a multi-million-dollar science affair. Yeah. The people inside are wearing lab coats and goggles and have this super advanced technology, which, believably, if you've got this huge thing, maybe you couldn't actually see into where your experiment is or whatever it is that you're dealing with. Yeah. However, there's a disturbance in there. It's probably a bird. It'll fly out. Let it go. That's how Chernobyl happens.
Yikes.
Like, what do you? What?
Yeah.
Of course, you pause and you send somebody to
you're
check.
like, what the fuck is that?
And also, why are they doing this experiment at like 11
in the middle
o'clock
of the night? Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it in the middle of the night.
And why does it just have one dog that's guarding it?
Yeah, and that's the other thing is the fence is like I feel like you would put the fence out like miles away. And why is it right next to like the city?
Yeah.
Like, man,
Nothing
so
makes
there's nothing about the way the rules of Sandman's world, how he works, the way the sand works.
No clue.
No rules. There are none.
No.
There's no rhyme or reason to the way the sand works.
No. So yeah, this thing goes on and he turns into sand.
Yeah, it shows you his DNA and sand gets into his DNA.
Yeah, rocks,
and his DNA turns
gravel.
And then it turns his DNA into sand. And
like the thing?
Yeah. But the other thing that gets to me is like, do clothes have DNA? Why are the clothes?
Why are the clothes? Yeah.
Why are the clothes?
Or I guess maybe the clothes did it and he just gets to decide
Yeah,
what parts of sand turn into different things.
So
and
is
he
his
still
clothes,
chose this outfit.
Yeah, are the clothes his skin that he's changing?
I don't know.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, all right, that's all right. Yeah, there's a really convenient amount of sand in New York City.
Yes.
The big sand truck.
Oh,
We need to.
boys,
get over here. We got to live with this sand.
Yeah.
Which is, to be fair, you do mix sand with, you mix sand and cement to get like asphalt or something.
Okay.
You get some specific kind of street pavement with sand mixed with something.
Cool.
Like sidewalk or concrete.
Okay.
Maybe that is concrete.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. All right, great. Back in the hospital.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, back to it.
The doctor tells Peter Harry is alive but has short-term memory loss.
Oh my god, the way this memory problem works. The rules of Harry's memory problems also make so little sense that at first I just think he's faking it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not.
No.
But at first I thought he's like, he's faking
ploy.
it. Yeah, but no, he just
doesn't
can't remember.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense because he doesn't remember that Peter is Spider-Man or how his dad died. But it's then he and Mary Jane would still be like together in his memory.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he makes the comment that he says it feels like he's been gone a long time and that he's finally back home. But his evil villainy brain is still like, I don't understand how that stuff works then.
It comes back very quickly.
Yeah,
his as soon as he remembers anything, he's like, oh wait, no new logic applied, no learning anything new. Oh, that's what I am. I'm gonna go back and do that again.
I am just this evil villain. Here we go.
Oh my god, that's right.
Then we watch a bunch of little rocks moving around, and it turns out they're sand, and they all slide around and create the Sandman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does that weird thing where he like tries to get up and his like head falls off.
Right,
He's got to learn how to use the sand, and it becomes a. Is it like Green Lantern? Like you can just think it, and he'll be the sand. Right. Yeah. Like he just, but at first it's hard to do.
Right, where he doesn't know how to. But he
and it doesn't need to be the original sand. It can be new sand.
No, it's any sand.
Any sand. Do. Yeah.
Yeah. He picks up his daughter's locket and it somehow turns him back into a normal person with clothes on.
Okay, I'll buy it.
And
I mean, of all things, that was like, oh, I need to go together for my daughter. It's my one drive.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, we gotta head out. We gotta get out of this thing. I guess everybody who was there is gone now. Did it explode the place?
It's daytime now, so
they all just clocked out.
They're home sleeping because they only operate at night.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. I guess it worked. I guess. Like, what? What were they trying to do?
Girl, there's nothing in there, just
swirling sand around.
Yeah, what? It is just a sand mixer, but it mixes DNA too.
What the fuck?
It's a particle scrambler.
Oh my god. Phenomenal. Peter's in his apartment that looks much better now than in the last one.
But it's the same one.
Yeah. I was like, oh, did he move? And then no, it's the same apartment. It's just
like, I don't know.
better.
Now he has Mary Jane, so she's occasionally
Making him clean.
Making him clean. I mean, why aren't they... I mean, yeah, isn't this the one, or is that the last one where she's dating the astronaut?
Yeah, she's engaged to the astronaut.
In the last one, right? Yeah. And
J. Jonah Jameson's son.
Okay, actually, that makes... Okay, I was going to say, J. Jonah Jameson's son is the first person to play football on the moon. Yeah, no, okay, never mind. That would make sense then. Because I was going to say, why aren't they living together? If she's like some Broadway actress that has money, why isn't he living with her?
He's about to ask her to marry him.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you just went through like a engagement and then broke off that engagement, maybe you would be hesitant to live with somebody.
Yeah. It might be a little bit much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway,
he's looking at the ring when Mary Jane comes by, and she has a bad review for her musical.
God, this character is so vapid.
And he just tells her to ignore it, and she wants to be upset, and that is fair. Okay, you're allowed to be upset if you want to be upset.
Yeah, sorry, Mary Jane. You're right. You're right.
And he's trying to be there for her, but then the police scanner goes off about a rogue crane downtown.
Oh my God,
and
this fucking shit.
Leaves.
Yeah.
And Mary Jane leaves, and we see the goop monsters slither out and around his room. So I guess it hitched a ride on his backpack to come upstairs.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it got in there.
Oh, by the way, something that we missed just a second ago, we were talking about the very first fight scene, which will be relevant again here in a few seconds when we get to the next one. Oh, wait, I'll just let you go. When we get to the next fight scene, I have points.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
On the scene at the crane malfunctioning, there's a man in a malfunctioning crane whipping a steel beam around.
Yeah, what they...
We see Gwen Stacy and two other beautiful women are in a modeling session.
Yeah, no, it's for a specific thing because I noticed. Do you know what it's for?
What is it
They're
for?
shooting an advertisement for the copier. The copy. They're sitting on an industrial office copier. Yes, they're sitting on the copier. And the thing is that I was obsessed this time when I watched it with the guy who's playing the like photographer.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yes, baby, love it. Sell me that copier."
Oh my God.
He says, "Sell me that copier," and I was like, "No way!" And then he's like, "Snap, snap, snap. What is that thing doing in the background of my shot?" And I'm like, "Yo, you're in the city.
Yeah.
Will you really think that like they know what's going on?" Yeah. But I did appreciate his tenacity.
That's amazing.
I would hire him.
I like to think that they showed up to shoot the scene and realized that there was no reason for them to be modeling and didn't know what to do, and they just wheeled in a copier from the writer's room.
Yeah.
Because they weren't using it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like, go.
Sell me that copier.
It's incredible.
Oh, man.
The beam comes through the window.
Yes.
Gwen Stacy is hanging off the ledge when we meet Topher Grace, who shows up next to the police chief.
Is it the first time we see him in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
How stupid. Because, like, what a dumb way to introduce a character that becomes so important. Because, like, we don't know any of these three people, really.
No.
Like, brand new introductions to both Gwen Stacy, the commissioner, and Eddie Brock. And he comes in as if he knows the police commissioner.
Right.
And it's like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "I don't know. It's just blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, that's your daughter." And he hands him the camera, and he looks through the camera and sees, and he's like, "Well, who are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm dating your daughter." And I was like, "Whoa." Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very weird and uncomfortable.
And none of this had to happen because the beam swings through the window and they run away from it.
Yes.
And then they walk back to the ledge again. And they're like, "It's coming back." And it's the lower beneath them. And then they all start to fall. Yeah. The other thing about this is that like so many people are dead.
Yes.
From the debris falling.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is what I was going to say about that first fight scene. It's like they go through... There's a scene where they, like, run through, like, the facade of a wall. And, like, all of this brick and glass stump falls down. And you look down at the street, you can kind of get a glimmer. It's like, this street is empty. But, like, anybody who was on that is going to die. They're going to get hit. You know? Same with the debris falling from the... And it very conveniently shows you... A tracking shot of like it barely missing a bunch of people too. Yeah. The population of New York becomes a character, especially in the third act of this movie.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So we meet Brock, and he works at the Daily Bugle, and he's dating Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, he gets that all out in like a line and a half.
Yep.
And within of meeting him.
But luckily, good old Spidey shows up and saves her.
Mm-hmm.
Brock introduces himself to Spider-Man as his new photographer. And Peter didn't know he was out of a job. Yeah. So, of course, next we see at the Bugle, we have a delightful scene with J. Jonah Jameson being pitched dumb ad phrases.
Oh,
we have a good slap comedy bit with the intercom and jokes about his high blood pressure and needed to keep it down. And kept getting scared by the loud buzzer on the intercom. It's very enjoyable. Eddie Brock shows up and he sucks.
Yeah. Topher Grace.
Topher Grace.
Do you think that's his fault?
Biggest crush.
I would believe that. Honestly, I like Topher Grace a lot.
Yeah.
But I would believe that the failure of this character is his fault.
Podcast listeners, there's a dog with a
there's
rattling,
a dog. Yeah, there's a dog. My dog is here.
Noise.
Yeah, but Topher Grace, I would fully believe that. Oh my God, I hate Eddie Brock, and I think it might be his fault. I don't know if it's anything else. That's okay. He'll be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Topher Grace is like my first childhood crush that wasn't like Aladdin.
Yeah.
So passionately in love with him. And yeah, what a mess. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm petting you. So yeah, he sucks. And Peter also shows up with pictures of Spider-Man, but they pick Brock's because they're cheaper. Brock sells them for less.
Good job for you, Eddie.
Yeah, right? It's like,
okay, good win.
Success, yeah.
And I always love how Peter's pictures of Spider-Man look like production quality photos, and J. Jonah, I know this is the joke, but still, J. Jonah's like, crap, this is crap. Yeah, well, I get it.
Can't use this. Yep. We find out there's an opening for a staff position, and J. Jonah tells the two of them whoever brings him a shot of Spider-Man being bad will get the position.
Oh man, this comic book is this movie is really skeptical of journalism. Yeah.
Oh, then in Times Square we get the Stan Lee cameo for this one. Oh,
always
bless
great.
You, Morty. And
yeah, the dog is sneezing.
It's sneezy boy. They're reading a marquee that says Spider-Man will receive the key to the city for saving the police chief's daughter.
Yeah, well, that's so crazy to me that like the disparity between like how is the Daily Bugle? I guess there might be a niche group of people who hate Spider-Man, and that's who the Daily Bugle caters to. But like the city goes nuts for him.
Yeah,
absolutely nuts. Go ahead. There's a specific woman that people listening to this podcast. If you go and watch this movie, there's one woman that I need you to watch in this one scene when he gets the key to the city. Is that what happens directly next?
No.
Oh. Okay.
We are at Harry's place, and it's like he's a goofy teen.
Right. Yes. Is this isn't him with Mary Jane date? Yeah, that's later.
No. That's later. And he looks all sad in his dad's portrait. And we see him have hella wild reflexes.
Yeah.
He drops something and then like catches it way too.
Is Peter there with him?
Flourishingly. No.
Oh.
I don't think so. Mary Jane then goes to her rehearsal and sees another woman singing her part in her outfit.
Oh, that's a yikes.
That is
somewhat realistic. That would happen.
And she's out of the show. Every paper said she was bad, apparently.
Oh, okay. Maybe she did have a reason to be. Maybe it was. Maybe she was right to be upset at the beginning there. She was, Oh no.
Yep, and then she exits the theater and everyone is clapping.
Oh, that's so dumb. Why are they standing in that alleyway like that? There's like people lined up that alleyway.
Yeah, it's really weird. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then it's for Spider-Man because he's like swinging.
Why would she all of a sudden think everybody's clapping for her?
Yeah,
after she just got fired from the show.
Yeah. And she huffs at him. And and her name is covered up on the market.
Okay, that's a her problem.
Yeah.
That's not Spider. That's not Peter's
fault. That's an insecurity in yourself.
Yeah, Peter's doing other things that are like questionable and shitty, but that was not his fault. That's on you, babes.
Yeah.
Get yourself a vocal coach. I don't know what to tell you.
There's so many options. Now we're at the key to the city ceremony.
Oh my god, the insanity of this whole movie's insane, but like the pacing of the next couple sequence of events is just bonkers. Because when Gwen Stacy, because first Mary Jane and Harry run into each other,
right?
And he forgets something really. Oh, you're in a play. Mm-hmm. He's like, yes, Harry, you came and saw it last week. And he's like, oh, it's so crazy. He got bonked on the head. Can't remember who I am, and I've never been happier. First of all, how do you know you've never been happier? Yeah. And she's like, maybe you can bonk me on the head next. And he goes, bonk.
Oh my god, yeah. That's...
And then Gwen Stacy gives her tiny little speech, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she gives a speech about the
Spider-Man. Please welcome the amazing Spider-Man, and the band plays the Spider-Man theme song. And everybody, this is where you start seeing the people of New York as like one collective character. Mm-hmm. All of these people have the same identity, same opinion. And they come back a couple of times, and when they're zooming out, there's this woman sitting in like right behind Gwen Stacy, like just behind her to the right of her, that goes like, when they stand up, she's like, yeah, and then she puts her hands on the side of her head. She goes, oh my gosh! Like literally, I recorded it. I like literally took a video of it because like just going nuts, and everybody is losing. Like, watch, just pick one person to watch for those scenes, and like they're all going nuts for them. Wow. Yeah, and then he lands for a second in front of an American flag. Like he jumps up and lands, and then he goes to the stage and does the upside down kiss again.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was really messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that nobody but him and Mary Jane know what that moment is or looks like, but he knows.
He knows, yeah.
He knows.
Oh no, bud, you okay?
Oh no, what happened? My dog got... Oh no.
I think he just tweaked his little hip there. I think he moved your foot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh,
everybody's fine. No dogs were harmed in the making of this podcast.
No, he's fine. He's laying down now. Okay, great.
It's okay for you. But yeah, it's so much. It's so wrong. It's such a dumb thing.
Because she's like, let's kiss, and everybody in the audience is like kiss her, kiss her.
Except for one child who's like, no,
don't do it. No, Spider-Man, don't do it. Yeah, that is very cute.
Yeah.
And then why wouldn't they just kiss through the mask if there was going to be a fun little thing?
Right, yeah.
Why did she do
like a little cheek? Also, she could kiss him on the cheek or something.
Yeah, the exact same iconic, and nobody in the crowd knows that.
Knows.
No. But Mary Jane knows. You see it. You see
really
her.
Messed
and
up.
Then, does anything else happen before the cloud of sand comes through?
No.
Where he comes through and kills like 20 people at once. He comes down and swoops down and like...
He robs an armored car and Spider-Man fights him, but has a hard time because he's sand.
Yeah, he makes his hand bigger.
Yeah.
How does that work? Why didn't his head like did his other hand get smaller?
I don't know.
When that hand got bigger to turn into like a rock.
Sand, and then he just drops the sand off when he's done. What is it? Or does it like condense? Does he just get denser and loosen up the sand to get bigger? Like,
and how easy is it to punch through? Because he punches through his stomach. Now, did Sandman let him punch through his stomach so he could grab him?
Right,
or
yeah.
Is it really that easy to blow through him?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And how would you, let's say this man does something horrific that, we can debate the death penalty all day. Let's just say we live in this world where he's been convicted of something and they're gonna execute him.
Uh-huh.
How is he immortal? How does he die?
I don't know.
His sand is on the inside.
Sand is forever.
Every inch of him is sand. Like, he's not hollow with organs on the inside.
No.
Pumping blood.
It's all sand. Every part of him is
like
sand.
Moon sand.
Do you think he can taste anymore? Does he feel like what is?
Exactly.
We can't keep talking. We're not gonna ever get through anything else. There's too much to think about.
The sand.
But yeah, Sandman gets away.
Mm-hmm.
Peter goes to a nice restaurant to meet Mary Jane to propose. The maitre d' is played by Bruce Campbell.
Again, he's in every movie.
He is in every movie.
Yeah.
At dinner, Gwen shows up because she happened to be having dinner with her parents, and Mary Jane learns that Peter and Gwen are actually pretty close.
When?
Making the kiss more significant and big yikes.
When were they close?
They have class together, and they're the two smart ones. So they're very close.
Emma Stone is a much better Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Who is this? Who is Gwen Stacy?
This is Dallas. Her name is Dallas.
Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard?
There we go, yeah.
Oh, really? Nosedive?
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway.
Peter leaves Mary Jane a very sad voicemail and then gets a call from a detective on behalf of Captain Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, NYPD Captain Gregory Stacy informs Peter and Aunt May that Ben Parker's killer was actually Flint Marco, and that the now deceased carjacker was merely an accomplice.
How did that investigation work that out? Especially you see what happens later.
Yeah.
And I have problems, but we'll get to it. Yeah.
We get a black and white flashback of what happened that night, or what Peter thinks happened.
Right. We learn later, but anyway.
Yeah. And this flimsy connection to make him a villain matter is just stupid. I thought it was really bad.
No, and it's even worse when you learn the true story of what happened.
Oh yeah.
Which we'll get there. I want to talk about that at the end when we do get to that, but yeah.
So then Peter is now obsessed with hunting down Sandman.
Yeah.
And MJ comes by because Aunt May's worried about him and called her, and she's worried he'll do something he regrets. She says, everyone needs help sometimes, even Spider-Man.
Oh, man.
Then he just sits listening to the police scanner.
Yep.
And there's a storm, and we see from the perspective of the goop monster that's still crawling around. It crawls up onto his suit and face.
Yeah.
And then...
Very cool sequence, and then all of a sudden he's outside.
Yeah, and then suddenly, he's on the side of a building looking at himself in a new black suit.
Yeah, and he's just like, wow, this feels incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Is it attached to his... So, he's wearing his regular Spider-Man suit.
Right.
And over that is the symbiote.
Yes. It seems that way.
What does showering look like to him? Does he take that...
I don't know. He just has to take the head of it off.
Yeah, and also it still has the same costume perforation. Is that he wasn't wearing the mask when he got covered? Is that just a new mask?
No, he wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, okay. Well,
it doesn't make any sense because
okay.
I still have issues with the whole his hands are inside of his suit. Is he taking off the whole upper half of the suit so his hands are out? But then we see that he's still got it on. You see the chest piece on him.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, but his hands are stitched into the suit. Yeah. Why are his hands out?
Yeah.
Is it a snap situation? Do they snap off?
Yeah, I don't... Okay. Yeah.
None of it adds up. It's too... Yeah. But, yeah. But his ass looks amazing in the suit.
Always,
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Peter takes a sample of the goop monster to his professor, because I guess he somehow could get a piece of it?
I guess he did some tweezers
Yeah.
And he's like, and it's... Fun fact, that professor with the one arm was going to be the lizard doctor that you see in the newer Spider-Man. That's the same, not Killer Croc, that's a Batman villain, but it's I think he's called the Lizard.
Yeah.
But the guy his professor with the one arm is that character.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Never got to be. Never got a Spider-Man
Nope.
4.
Nope. But yeah, he takes him to the professor, and he says it seems like a symbiote, which needs a host to survive, and once it binds with one, it's hard to unbind.
Ooh.
Peter then gets the call of the Sandman, right? And puts on his dark Spidey suit. And Eddie Brock shows up, but Spidey breaks his camera.
Yeah.
Luckily, he has a backup digital camera.
Of course.
In his little
As
jacket.
any good photojournalist would.
Yeah. Down in a train tunnel, Spidey confronts Sandman about Ben, and they tussle real hard.
Yeah. And water?
Yeah, Spidey ultimately opens a water main and turns him into mud. And it looks like he's defeated.
But he can dry.
Doesn't that just make him stronger?
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like when you make a sandcastle, you get it wet, so it's all binded together and stronger.
So it's running water. If you ran running water over a sandcastle, it would run away.
It would, yes.
So he can't get wet. So he doesn't control when he is sand and when he's not. Or
no,
does he control when he's sand and
he's
he's not?
never a solid thing. He's always, Is the sand moving so fast that we can't tell that it's like...
The thing that I still always think about is that, like, he's not hollow. Like, if you were to cut him in half, like, and look under his torso, it would just be sand.
Yeah, it's just sand. Alright, back in his apartment, out of his costume, Peter looks in the mirror, and his hair is long and floppy in the front.
Yeah, and he tussles it up more, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he exits his apartment, and his landlord barks at him
Oh.
about the rent.
It's just, I thought he's coming into the room when he says, "When you fix this damn door."
And then he yells at the landlord, and the landlord even clocks that he must be in some sort of trouble.
I love Mr. Ditkovich. He's a great
he's like, you're
character.
a good boy. You wouldn't be like this.
He is good boy. You know, he says something like that. Or is he, before or after this, when he's on the phone, he's trying to call Mary Jane, and he's like, gives him advice. He's like, here's what you tell her. You are a good woman. I am good man.
Oh, that's so excellent.
Anyway,
yeah. So he leaves, and then we see that he still has the suit on under his clothes, and he gets concerned. And Peter then goes and tells Aunt May that Spider-Man killed Flint Marko, and she's confused.
Wait, is this? We haven't gotten to cool montage. Okay,
No.
sorry. Okay, great. Yeah.
But she's confused because Spider-Man doesn't kill people. Peter's upset because he thinks he deserves to die. But she's like, no, it's not for us to decide. Ben wouldn't have wanted it to be that way. And so he's conflicted. We see Mary Jane walk sad through the streets. And she calls Harry, who is casually a still life painter now.
Yeah, he's given his interest. He's just a goofy rich man. Doesn't know what he's into.
What to do.
Yeah.
And she goes over to his place, and they have a very nice time together.
They make
and
food, and they kiss, and they flirt like it's high school.
Oh, yeah. But Mary Jane apologizes for it and leaves. Harry drinks and starts having Scar Goblin flashbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It reminded me of like the Lion King.
Yeah. Oh man.
And he remembers everything.
Yeah. What induces that? He just remembers
sitting, drinking.
Yes, all of a sudden you just thought real hard
and looks at his dad's portrait.
Oh, that is it. Yeah.
He hears it, and there he goes. As soon as Mary Jane gets home, Harry shows up at as the Goblin and kidnaps her.
What a weird experience that must have been for Mary Jane. Like, you were just hanging out. What the fuck happened?
It's very odd. At his apartment, Peter gets a call from Mary Jane, who tells him to meet her at the park. And he gets there, and she breaks up with him.
Oh.
And he ugly cries.
Yeah, he does.
And he pulls out the ring that he had for her, but she says she's fallen in love with someone else. And walks away. And Harry watches from afar and tells her, bravo. As she passes his acting.
Wow. Brutal. Brutal.
Peter and Harry have coffee together. So Harry's pretending to still be nice man.
Yeah, he's forgotten everything.
Mm-hmm. And he tells him that he's the other guy that Mary Jane has been seeing. And reveals all these things going on in Mary Jane's life with her career and feelings that he didn't know about because he was not a great boyfriend.
No, really, genuinely.
And Peter leaves, and when he looks back, Harry smiles and winks at him.
Yeah, and then he disappears.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, he's the new
Do you
goblin.
think he just like dropped under the table?
Yeah, and then he just cuts inside and he's like peering out, and the waiter's standing there with his sir, just put the check on the table. Yeah, just put the check on the table.
God, it's gone. Did you see that it looked cool?
Is he gone?
Peter then sits in his room and looks real upset, and then looks at the trunk where his dark suit is.
So he can take it on and off.
Yeah, apparently.
Which later, he's got a very hard time.
Yeah, exactly.
Off.
He has a very difficult time taking it off later. And he opens it up and thunder crashes.
Yeah.
We see Harry pouring a drink in his study when Peter shows up full emo hair. The hair is even long. I guess the hair retracts itself and
he's just pushing it back. He's like slicking it back.
Okay, it's like
product and combing it.
Yeah, okay.
And whatnot, yeah.
Harry says their kiss was just like it used to be. Tasted like strawberry.
Gross.
It's really gross.
Oh, I remember the way he looks.
Yeah.
Like strawberries.
It's really gross. And then they fight.
Yeah, they have a cool fight.
They have
It's
there
full
are a lot,
of rage.
Yeah, there are a lot of good quips and campy call-outs in this fight. And Peter seemingly defeats Harry and says he was always a disappointment to his father.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and then Harry throws a bomb at him.
He tries to throw a fireball at him, but he catches it.
And he catches it and throws it back.
Yeah, and it's a huge
blows
explosion.
up his face.
Yeah,
it's a very cool explosion when he's watching. He's beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
His lips go weird.
Yeah.
And then Peter just walks away.
Yeah, Peter just leaves and is like, fuck this guy, bye.
Yeah.
And Peter is feeling good.
Yes, exactly.
He's walking down the street.
Yeah.
Lots of beautiful women smile at him.
Yes.
And then he passes the front page of the Bugle that has a picture of Dark Spider-Man stealing money.
Oh.
So, Brock is celebrating at the Bugle, and Peter comes and tears him up. Throws him up against the wall.
Yes. Wait, was that the music montage? Okay,
No.
I'm sorry. I'm really
You
excited.
are ready to talk
I'm really excited to talk about it.
It's okay. We're going to get, I promise.
Okay, great.
No, this is... So he throws Brock up against the wall, and J. Jonah fires Peter. J. Jonah fires Brock. Because he exposes him for photoshopping the picture, for it being fake. And they have to print a retraction.
Oof.
His professor...
Jonah Jane hates more than a retraction, goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so his professor calls him and tells him that the species he gave him is super dangerous, and he hopes that he didn't keep any of it for himself.
Right.
And then we get what you've been waiting for.
Yes. The best part of this movie. I mean, man, did you laugh while you were watching it?
Yes.
I did too.
Yeah.
Which is the point.
Yeah.
A lot of people watch this movie and look at the scene and be like, wow, what a dork. Yes, precisely. That is the point. This is not meant to be Sam Raimi's idea of a cool guy.
Yeah.
This is Peter Parker's idea of a cool guy. It's what Peter Parker thinks a cool guy is and does. And if you look at the women that are looking at him...
They're disgusted and confused.
They are confused. And I love the slide, the spin.
Double
door. Yes, the door opens. He goes in, he comes right back out in a new outfit.
The roll.
Yes.
The body roll.
I mean, it gets even better when he takes Gwen Stacy on a date to the jazz bar.
Oh, it does get better than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter does gross finger guns at women who are not interested. He takes some intense, badass Spidey pics to the Bugle, gets the staff job, does more finger guns, and a twirl. He goes and gets himself a dark suit, and he dances. He does a little body roll.
Yeah.
Next, we see Sandman surface from the sewer. thanks to the power of love for his daughter. I guess.
It's literally the only thing.
Yeah, that's the only motivation. And then Peter's seen taking Gwen to the nightclub that Mary Jane works at. He plays the piano real good while she's on stage, right?
On this.
Yeah. He does a ridiculous dance, and someone says, "That's so hot." You can hear it.
That's so hot.
Someone goes, "That's so hot."
And you get that's the other thing, is that the character of the people of New York is returning in this scene, where they're all just really into whatever's going on.
Yeah.
It's like, woo! You get one of those?
Yep.
Get people whistling? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
man.
Yeah, and then Gwen realizes that she was just a pawn on this date with Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Which, do you think she was actually interested in Peter? It doesn't...
Yeah, I mean, that's the weird thing, is that I said what I just said about, Peter is, everybody's saying that he's lame.
Yeah.
Gwen kind of was super interested in him, I guess.
Yeah.
People love confidence, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, she realizes she was just a pawn to, make Mary Jane jealous. And he gets into a fight with the club's bouncer and unintentionally shoves Mary Jane in the process, knocking her to the ground.
Right.
And he, you see it in his face, finally, the realizing of oh no, this is bad. What's going on? I'm being bad. It's okay. Peter realizes that the symbiote suit is changing him for the worse.
Yes.
He walks out of the nightclub and goes to a church bell tower.
Right.
For some reason. And we also see that Eddie Brock is at the church.
Also at the church, broken up about getting dumped by Gwen.
And he fired, even though they went on one date.
Yeah,
apparently.
they went on one date.
They got coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
That was all.
And yeah, Brock's a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's insane,
Yeah,
because
it's scary.
Because he's literally I want to. Before he even gets the symbiote, he's like, please. It goes to God. He asks God to smite Peter Parker.
Yeah, he says, please kill Peter Parker.
I want you to kill Peter. Yeah, for ruining my life and getting rid of my girlfriend.
Yeah, but wasn't your girlfriend?
Wasn't your girlfriend? And wasn't your job even? It
No.
seems like you. It seems like. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. At first, Peter's unable to get the suit off. But the alien bodysuit eventually weakens with the sound of the bells.
Yep, it
just starts like quivering and going.
Yeah, it can't take harmony. It can't.
It doesn't like it, and so he's able to get it off. And Brock hears him yelling, but I guess nobody else in the church does.
Well, that's the thing that I don't think there's anybody else at the church.
I saw there were people around.
So the thing that got me was that the bell starts ringing, and that's the first thing he hears is the bell ringing, and he goes, "What? What do you mean, what?
You're at a church. And I'm assuming it's like 1 o'clock or something. It's at the time.
Yeah,
yeah, and he goes in there, and he sees him taking off the suit.
Really, really far away, and goes, Parker.
Yeah, he's like, Parker. And then the suit falls on him, the alien, and it just starts transforming him into Venom immediately.
Yeah, exactly. There's he's not wearing a superhero suit to turn black. He just gives him his own superhero suit.
Right.
Why isn't it's just like all of his regular clothes black?
Yeah, I don't understand
it's fine,
Yeah, we don't have. We can't do. Yeah, our brains. They deserve better. So
he also, whatever it is, also uses web though.
Yeah,
it's a spider-based creature.
Yeah, I guess it just learned from Peter.
Or maybe that is where that actually makes sense.
Put it on to him. Yeah,
that actually does make a lot of sense. That is interesting.
Yeah. Back in his apartment, Peter is visited by Aunt May, who's just checking on him because he seemed off. Mm-hmm. And he gives her back her ring and says he doesn't know what to do because he hurt Mary Jane.
Oh. And
Aunt May says he just has to do the hardest thing, which is forgive himself.
Sure. Depends on the situation, I guess.
Ass.
Yeah. Like, I want to... Well,
cut yourself a break. That is good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let shit go. Just go do and be better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Stop moping around. Stop being a little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go take care of your shit.
Yeah, I had to recontextualize because at first I was like, oh, but I love her, but she didn't, it's all made up.
Yeah, it's
just
real,
like,
yeah.
that's one of my favorite things about fiction and criticizing fictional works is like, you made it. It didn't have to be that.
It didn't.
You made it up. Like, you could have had to say anything, and you chose that.
Yeah, you picked it.
Yeah.
Then we see Brock as Venom, who finds the Sandman and suggests that they join forces to destroy Spider-Man.
Oh.
To which the Sandman quickly agrees.
Yep. I fully believe you could cut every single Sandman scene in which he's present, and it would change nothing about the movie.
Oh, completely. Yeah, completely useless.
You could fully cut that character.
Yeah. Absolutely useless. No point at all.
Yeah, completely self-contained. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even cut him from the final fight scene.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, it didn't matter.
You could cut it completely around him. Yeah.
Didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
No, just...
this movie probably would have been better if it was just focused on just Venom as a character.
It would have...
Yeah, it probably would have been.
Better.
Actually, if you had more time to invest
to actually care, be like, wait, what is this?
Man, that is really interesting.
Yeah,
should have just been the Venom kit. Wait, go ahead.
Yeah, you know. Okay, Peter goes and stands sad outside Mary Jane's window, and then walks away. And then she looks forlorn out the window after he's gone. And then she goes down to get in a cab and is immediately kidnapped by Venom and the Sandman.
Right.
And they put Mary Jane in said taxi cab and hang it from a gigantic web above a construction site that is filled with sand.
It's like, where are we going to do this? I like how Eddie Brock, they knock Mary Jane out. They're both in the taxi.
Yeah.
And Bob's like, okay, where are we going to do this? And he's like, okay, it just has to be somewhere with a lot of sand. I need lots of sand.
It's my thing. I need it. So,
sand.
Peter sees it on the news that this is happening.
My gosh, and how cartoony that news. I mean, this is now, we're now in the third act. This is where it's of the whole series the most comic booky. And the character of New York is about to rear its head here in a second. Yeah.
Charlotte's Web call Spider-Man out. They write a message in the web.
Yeah.
And it says, "Stop us if you can, Spidey."
Yeah, there it is. Spidey.
Yeah. Peter approaches Harry for help, whose face is fuck up. And partially blinded. And Harry makes Pete leave. Who's just like, get out.
Yeah,
which is fair.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah. And then we just get the weirdest fucking scene between Harry and his butler, who has never spoken.
And it's very earnest. Yeah, he's in the other movies, actually. He is. Yeah, he's in the other movies. Yeah, but he doesn't have anything other than, the master is requiring you to tea. I don't fucking know. But he says stuff like that,
And that's how he learns the truth about his father's death. For some reason, he knows that the blade marks in his stomach were from his glider. Yeah. So he must have been killed by his own hand. And I'm like, did you get a forensics degree? Did you make a cast mold of the blade?
Yeah, how did you know? And also, why couldn't
that's not that knife? Was he stabbing people with that knife all the time? I was like, that's not what it looks like.
Oh my god. Yeah, and Peter was trying to explain what happened to him. Yeah.
But no,
how would he know? Yeah.
Yeah. Back at the scene of the action, Mary Jane is not doing so good in the taxi.
No. Well, she's quiet for a second, and then it
starts to fall.
Yeah, you get this really boing, boing.
Yeah.
Boing.
But Spider-Man swings in. Mary Jane says, "They're gonna kill us both." She's not happy.
Yeah, this is why okay, so this is really great because Spider-Man comes in and one person at the front of the crowd is like, "Who's that?" And like one by one, their heads turn around and they start cheering and chanting Spider-Man. And it cuts to a news reporter and is like, "Thank goodness our city's hero is here."
Yeah.
He's like, and then it cuts to the man in like the studio, and he's like, "Will Spider-Man save us?" Like,
yeah.
well, first of all, they're not coming after anybody
also,
but
yeah,
Mary
it's literally
Jane.
just her.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
just about him.
Yeah, and also so many unsupervised children in New York.
On the street.
You get this. You got all these reporters trying to take pictures of this shit, and right at the front, there's a little 9-year-old girl, and J. Jonah Jameson is like, "Here, I need to take a picture of that. Give me your camera." She's like, "I'm a kid."
Yeah, I don't want a job.
I'm a kid. Yeah,
but I'll sell you my camera for
$200, and then he does, and there's no film in it.
Yeah,
like, films extra.
Yeah,
now, that's what I'm talking about. This movie has no idea what. This is in the middle of this other fight scene.
Yes, yeah, very.
And then he lands on the car, and Mary Jane, like you said, goes, "They're gonna kill us both."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess that is true, but why are you telling me?
Yeah,
why are you saying that right now? Like,
what? Yeah. This is the moment after all the times that she has been in peril and, like, it's worked out. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is different.
Why do I need to know that? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Venom immediately shows up and rips the top of the car off.
As if it's all glass and there's no metal.
Just rips it clean off. And he says his spidey sense is tingling. And
if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like pointing at Mary Jane. It's gross.
Rated R.
Yeah. And he pins him to
the web,
Yeah, he pins him to the web. And
and he gives that weird monologue where he's like, he almost cries. He almost cries. It's like, remember when you took my girlfriend away from me? Yeah. I was like, oh, he's an incel.
Yeah, he's scary.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
He's real psycho.
Scary.
Oh my god.
And I think it was that moment was crazy.
It was well acted, but it was out of place.
Yeah,
why is it there?
Doesn't make any sense. But while he does that, Mary Jane just drops a fucking cement block on top of his head. And they tussle, and he falls really hard. Spider-Man falls.
It's a very cool... Again, very cool fight choreography.
Yes.
Like, they're fighting through the air, and then he breaks his fall just as he's hitting the ground, and he rolls out of it.
Yeah.
It is cool. The physics are cool.
Yeah, it is neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, them flying through the air, this is the worst of the graphics.
Right, worst of the graphics, but I maintain the fight choreography is very cool.
I agree with you. Yeah, it is
the fight choreography is cool.
Yeah. Then Mary Jane is just suspended in the web because she had to get out of the
She had to jump off the car, and
as
the other truck that was suspended up there is falling. Yeah.
And Sandman finally shows up.
Yeah, again, not involved in the fight really at all. Just all of a sudden grows out of all the sand.
Gigantic.
And he's not only made out of sand now he's also made out of like tires and cars and other big rocks are just picked up in the sand.
Yeah.
And does Harry show up yet?
Yes.
That's when Harry shows up.
So yeah, he's a big roaring monster and just like is punching Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not that impactful because his hand just like falls apart when he hits him. So I'm like, is it that
Green
bad?
Goblin turns his arm into glass, and that's kind of fun.
That is cool.
But you have to get that way hotter than that. There's no way the exhaust from
like
your glider.
On the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen Sweet Home Alabama. You can't be fucking doing this. I know better. But yeah, so they're just beating him up, and like all the news crew is like, this is so hard to watch.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that the news anchor literally says is like, this could be the end of Spider-Man. It's like, why are you all
watching this for? They're gonna hurt you next, I assume.
Yeah,
why are you all hanging out?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it seems like it's the end, and a bomb hits the Sandman, and it's Harry. And Harry's hoverboard suddenly has a flamethrower.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he makes the glass.
Yeah. And he flame throws the Sandman's arm and shatters it. And he fights Sandman while Spider-Man focuses on trying to save Mary Jane. Yeah. But Venom ends up trapping Peter again, and he notices when he gets trapped that the alien doesn't like the sound of all these poles falling down.
Yeah, they're just like that bell.
Harry falls into the building. Yeah, just like the bell. He literally has a flashback of being in the tower with the bell. In case we forgot. It's only been 10 minutes.
Yeah. I love how they and the thing is that they're introducing the polls, ringing, being the solution, as if this is we should have. Oh, how smart! That's a callback. And I was like, no, you introduced this in the third concept in the third act.
Yeah.
We were well moving towards the end by the time we learned that that's what did it to this thing.
Yep.
But hey, resourceful. He stabs them through concrete.
Yeah. So Brock attempts to impale Peter with Harry's glider, but Harry jumps in the way and is fatally wounded. Suffering the same fate of his father.
Right.
But for a good reason.
Yeah, I love his last words. We'll get there.
And Peter yells, Harry! Oh, gosh. Harry! Yeah. And then Peter then creates a ring of several pipes.
By stabbing them through rebar.
Into the concrete. Yeah. And starts just hitting them and around Venom to make a fence of sonic vibration.
Yes.
The alien succumbs to so much pain that it releases Brock, and Peter pulls him away from it with a string of web, and then Peter throws one of Harry's pumpkin bombs into it, but Brock is so infatuated and needs to be a part of it that he throws himself in there and they both explode.
Yeah,
you just see his skeleton for a second as they disintegrate together.
Yeah, oh, it's just like the skeletons in the first one. Mm-hmm. It's callback.
Yes,
it's one of those. Yeah, good.
There's
I love it. Just like an anime when they set something up in episode 1 that you don't learn about until it's what brought it all together.
Oh god. Yeah. After the battle, Sandman recovers and tells Peter that he had no intention of killing Ben Parker.
Yeah, this is what kills me.
When he fired his gun.
So it was an accident?
It was an accident when the other guy grabbed his arm.
So it wasn't even...
He shot into Ben, yeah.
So this was all pointless.
Yes, completely
It was an accident. So literally Spider-Man's whole origin story is...
Yeah. Bad luck.
Yeah, it's all coincidence.
Yes.
It's all chaos.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's the point of the movie, but why'd you make a movie?
Yeah, there's not.
I don't like it.
No. Yep. And so.
And then just goes in the wind, and then just goes into the. Did something else happen first, or he?
Well, he says that it was just he was trying to save his dying daughter's life, so that makes Peter sad. And then he claims that Ben Parker's death will haunt him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Peter forgives him. Who then turns into dust and floats away.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just gonna keep doing.
I guess being dust in the wind. I don't.
Oh wow, that'd be.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Imagine if he was just doing that. I mean that's how it ends. Is it slowly fades out, playing dust in the wind.
Yeah, that would have been excellent.
Yeah, nope. It has some of the best lines in the movie are still to come.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter goes over to Harry where
he goes, "Hey Peter, how are you doing?" He goes, "I've been better."
He's actively dying.
He's like, oh man.
All of his internal organs are bleeding out through stab holes in his gut.
Oh man.
He just says, "Yeah, I've been better, Pete." Oh my god. And they forgive each other.
Good.
And that's good, yeah. And then Harry dies and we get the famous Tobey Maguire cry in his little spider suit.
Yep.
The full,
ugly cry.
Disgusting face.
Yeah.
Pushed in.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure, streaming out his nose.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's everything.
It's disgusting. It's very real.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that's so funny about it is that it's so genuine that people use it as, the most sincere ugly crying.
Yes. It is.
Oh, man.
Then it fades, and they're at his funeral in the rain. His butler puts a rose on his
There's every character has an arc. Everybody's got an arc.
Oh my god. Yeah, and we get voiceover again. And it's him talking about, he says, we can always choose to do what's right. And then Mary Jane is singing in a jazz bar. She's singing the song I'm Through with Love.
Yeah.
Peter walks in and watches her. In the middle of a line, she stops singing as he puts his hand out to her. They hug. She walks off the stage and they start dancing.
Imagine.
Slow dancing. Yeah, you are in the bar and this happens.
Honestly, with the way that I am, I'd be like, wow, is this theater? Is there something happening? Is this a story?
Yeah, what's going on? But no one around reacts at all. Like, no, you can see the extras in the back and they're not even looking at them.
Yeah, they're just... they're
eating and chatting and things like that. Yeah.
Like I'm paying casual attention.
Yeah, and then it fades to black and Snow Patrol plays.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great song. That is, and the Signal Fire is a fantastic.
Snow Patrol hits.
Perfect words never.
And then it's followed up by a killer song too.
Yeah.
So that's
fun.
And then there was another song I didn't know.
Signal Fire is my favorite Snow Patrol song.
Wow.
Which comes from this movie.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's
like
great.
That.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that.
All right, and that is Spider-Man 3, the end of the trilogy.
God, what a I do remember when I was a child realizing that this one wasn't as good as the other ones, and it was literally when you're in the third act and you cut to the news anchor and he's like, "This could be the end of Spider-Man." And I was like, "Oh, I see why people don't like this." Yeah. I still think it's exactly what it's trying to be. It was trying to be a specific thing, and it was that.
Yeah.
That was the thing it wanted to be. But again, I maintain you could literally cut every second of Sandman, and the movie would be better. Yes. It would probably be an appropriate length.
Yes, it's so long.
It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it's extremely long.
Could have cut an hour off that thing.
Oh my gosh, yes. So yeah, critical response was it's Rotten Tomatoes is 63%. So
which is pretty good. It's fine.
Yeah.
Does he get a green splat or a red tomato?
It has a red tomato technically. Okay, cool. Well, maybe it doesn't. 63, I don't think it does.
In the 60s,
I think it's like 65.
It's up in the air when it's in the 60s.
But Letterboxd 2.7 stars out of 5. So pretty comparable to the 63% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Actually, that is true. Yeah,
so people.
That's right. This is Letterboxd. I was thinking 10. No, it's out of 5.
It's out of 5.
So probably about the same.
Pretty around the same for audience and like critics alike.
Right.
The tagline for this movie is "The Battle Within." Spider-Man 3, "The Battle Within."
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, I mean, it's all metaphorical for it, but the fact of the matter is that you made that metaphor real. So, like, for these people,
so
it is not.
It's not. It's the battle.
You've externalized
everywhere.
It. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get why it says that, but you're just wrong.
Yeah, it's too long. I'm glad it exists. Like, it is fun. It's great fight choreography. I don't want to ever watch it again, I don't think.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, this is probably it.
Yeah.
It's probably the last time I watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe unless my nieces get really into Spider-Man,
Go through it.
And I'll be like, you guys gonna see this movie.
I didn't know before doing the research for this that there was a 4th installment planned.
Yeah, they were planning on it.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just gonna be. It makes sense, with how much money it made. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, they were like, "What? No, we're not gonna stop."
It went into development hell for a number of years.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in 2011.
Instead, they did The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be followed by a Venom spin-off film after the 4th one, but both were canceled due to Raimi's withdrawal over creative differences with the writers and producers.
Oh, that's very funny.
So they finally, after the 3rd one, they were like, "We're no."
They're like, "Listen, we need to say no sometimes now."
Yeah.
Which is so funny because it seems obvious to make a 4th one.
Yes.
I mean, it was popular. People were seeing these movies.
Yes.
Like, I was seeing them.
Yeah, I would have
absolutely seen a 4th one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Completely.
I'm really excited for the notion that Tobey Maguire is going to be in
the new so it's Spider-Man has now been rebooted twice in film series.
Right.
So we had the Andrew Garfield, which I'm not going to do. Everybody stop fucking asking me. I'm not doing any more Spider-Man.
Yeah, those movies also suck.
Yes.
Like, objectively. They make no fucking sense. here's the thing: as little sense as the Raimi Spider-Man make, at least internally, there's like a world there that like those people are trying to follow, and the Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, people are like still bullying him and stuff. But he's the spiky-haired, skinny skateboard kid. What are you talking about? He's cool.
Yeah, he is.
Also,
cool.
I mean, Tom Holland is cool too, but not in the same way. In a sweet boy way. Yeah, like boy. But not in a. Yeah. No. And Tobey Maguire shows the terrifying reality of what happens when a sweet boy becomes a sweet man. Which is not great. Which is not the
it's
same
not the nice guy.
It's not.
It sucks.
Yeah. Peter is a nice guy, yeah.
Yeah. But we did get a Venom movie, which did poorly.
The Tom Hardy one?
Yeah.
So they're thinking, the rumors on the pipeline, on the grapevine, I heard that this No Way Home, they're incorporating Spider-Verse, that idea of multiverse, so that he can make an entry into the Sony Spider-Man independent universe they're setting up with Venom and Carnage and all of them, so he can be in that. And they're going to be using that movie evidently to get X-Men incorporated into the world, so that they don't have to be like, oh, X-Men have been here the whole time, just doing their own thing.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah,
no, they're gonna. Yeah, so that's what they're.
That's interesting. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: is again, I'm not a Marvel guy. Yeah,
I've seen like 4 Marvel.
Yeah, I saw a handful of them. I thought Endgame still was great. I think the hype is real over Endgame. Endgame, you can watch almost everybody who likes Marvel will hate me for saying this, but I think you can watch Endgame mostly if you just seen a couple of them. Like if you have a couple characters you really like, and just watching it for that. It explains most of what's going on. The pace is great. It keeps you right in it. It's smart. I actually really had a good time watching Endgame.
Great. It's to the point now of like, it's just pride. I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to spite the Marvel universe at this point.
Yeah, you should. It's a so military propaganda also. Oof. Yeah, it's right wing military propaganda.
Thanks.
Yeah. Look at where we are. No, we can't be doing this. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I mean, the United States military gets approval on Marvel movies.
Oh, wild.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that for the representation?
No, of course, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wild. Well, yikes.
And it's so that they can use, like, the names and the bases and the airplanes and, like, property of the United States military. They have to get, like, sign-off say, yes, this accurately represents us.
Eek.
Isn't it eek?
That is.
Which is not the case for the old ones, but this Marvel Cinematic Universe, absolutely it is. Yeah. It's so funny to watch. I just watched Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
Oh, yeah.
Recently. And that was when because the goal there is like, these are brutal superheroes who kill people.
Yeah.
And will do it. They're gods. These are gods.
Yeah.
Right? And the fight choreography, because of that, is mostly just punching each other into absolute fucking smithereens.
Yeah.
So watching this was super, super fun. It's just fun. Like, the movie's just fun. Like, it's just a comic book. It's not serious. Right. It's like, it's goofy.
Yeah.
And that's why I still defend this movie. Because it's like, this movie, although it's shitty, knows what it is. And knows what it's trying to be, you know? There was no prestige for these kind of movies at the time. No. Absolutely not. Yeah. Like, these movies, I think Spider-Man 2 maybe did get nominated for visual effects.
Rightfully so, yes.
Yeah,
it did get nominated.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember Spider-Man 2 is really fun. That movie's really fun. Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah. 2 is definitely the best of the trilogy.
It's without a doubt. Yeah,
exactly,
everybody knows. Okay, well, do you relate to Spider-Man 3?
Do I relate to Spider-Man 3? I always find myself super angry at the choices that Peter makes, which tells me yes. Right? Because I'm putting myself in that situation and saying, I would make a different decision.
Right, yeah.
So, I think people think that all the time when they're watching stuff and being like, that doesn't represent me because they did something differently than I would. Right. And I was like, but you can see where that person is making that decision then, which means that you actually do see yourself. You can see yourself in this world,
right?
Do you see yourself in Spider-Man 3?
No, literally not at all.
There's not a single There's not a single person of color in this
No,
movie, right?
not in this
Not
one.
a single one.
No, not in this
My
one.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
bad.
God.
Well,
yeah.
no, there's the man who works at the Bugle.
Oh, yes, that man. He's
that
funny
man
man.
who's
He makes-
around sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
He makes
that
a
is
joke or
like
two.
on Peter's side. It was
Right.
like on Spider-Man's side.
Right, exactly.
That.
But so is
exists.
most of New York, so that's
Yes.
not special.
But
Like
that's-
most people are into.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
that's my
that's
representation.
so fucked up.
It is really bad. It's really wild.
Yeah.
It's like what? We're in New York City.
This is a later movie of the 2000s.
Yeah, it's 2007.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh my god.
Anyway, all right, great.
Another
this
one
has been
down.
so long, and thank you all for listening.
Well, thank you for getting through it with us.
Yeah,
I love this movie. I do recommend people watch it.
Yeah.
Still. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, but fuck. I mean, come on now.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, Sean.
Oh, I had such a good time. Everybody listen to my podcast.
That's
I have a
exactly what I was
podcast.
about to say.
Oh,
Yeah. You have a very wonderful podcast where you explore plays called Come and See.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'll link it in the description so it's easy for people to
Lovely.
click on.
Great.
Yeah, check it out. And thank you all for listening. I love you all as much. I love you all so much that I would reenact Stomp with poles to kill an alien. Because that's what it reminded me of.
Yes.
I would do that for you any day.
Oh my god.
As always, I have been your friendly neighborhood fat friend.
Ooh.
I'll talk at you next time.
Right.
Bye.